tuned in to your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey everybody, I am Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and welcome to your dose of positivity. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, kindly like and share it out. And also, I would love for you to join my channel membership. Thank you all so much for being here. I would love for you to hit the thumbs up, and let me go to the chat to see who is in here. Hey Janice Adventures, how are you? Welcome. Hey Janice, how are you? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I always have to start out by saying thank you to those who support this channel by subscription and those who support this channel by membership. Tomorrow there will be a members only live. I have to do a poll on the community tab, so look out for that, members, and join. We're gonna talk about a topic tomorrow. Yeah, you'll see. Hey, Realist One, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here, and happy Wednesday to you. So, everybody, let's get into today's topic. Let's get into it. Today, we're talking about permission to thrive. What does that even mean? Let's start there. Whether we know it or not, we consent or we decline ourselves thriving in life. You consent or you decline it. So it means that when certain opportunities are available for us, when we have certain talents, when there's gifts, when lots of things, when doors are opening for us, we have to make a decision where we're going to walk through those doors, we're going to close it, we're going to deny that we even have certain gifts or talents because of either fear, worry, we doubt our abilities, we don't think that we have enough personal strength, we don't believe in ourselves enough. Is a lot of reasons why we may not walk through the doors of opportunities. Even sometimes it could be because of your financial situation at the moment. You may feel because your money is not right that there's no way that you can walk through those doors of opportunity. Like, how can I do that? Because of my financial status or because of a health issue. But if you really want to do something, you will. Let's see. Hey, Shay Love, how are you? Welcome. Yes, it's so important for us to make a personal decision for ourselves to thrive. My permission to thrive started way back years ago, after I had experienced a traumatic event in my life, actually fighting for my life. And I personally had to make a decision in that moment whether I was going to stay in that moment and let that moment define me, or was I going to want better than that moment and you just walk away. See, you can choose to face things head on and use your fists, use anger. It's a lot of things that we can be led by. You can be led by your emotions, you can be led by your desires, you can be led spiritually. There's a lot of ways that we can be led. Hey, I am Hosea. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. And thank you, everybody, for the likes. I'm seeing them come in. So I have to say that we are led by things either to move forward or to go backwards or to stand in it and confront it. So my mind came when I had to make a decision that I didn't like the way I was acting. I didn't like how I was treating other people, but I didn't have the tools inside of me in order to show me how to move forward. You know, it's easy to stay in one place because it's safe there. It's something that you're used to, whether it's bad behavior, whether it's staying in a toxic relationship or toxic friendships, or making decisions to not get your education because you just think you can, or because you make some excuse. Because every single day you can make an excuse to do something, to not do something. If you want to, you could just, oh, I'm tired. There's endless excuses out there. I'm tired of my financial situation, and because of this, and because of that, and this person isn't right, and what this one has done to me, like everything is always a personal attack. But we can make a decision within ourselves that, that's where it started with me. I don't know how to move forward in my life, and I don't want to move backwards. I said, I don't want to be like uh, past generations. I don't want to be like the old fashioned way of, just saying you don't understand something and just think it's okay. Well, because I don't understand it, because I don't know how, or I don't have the tools, I can use this as an excuse to not move forward in my life. And this is where I think the maturity comes in inside of us. When we don't know how to move forward, we don't have the tools inside of us. We don't have, enough of our own self worth and self acknowledgement that we have to, okay, I don't have it inside of me. Let me go and research. Let me find somebody who can help me. See, this is how you know that you're maturing, and growing inside of yourself. And also, you're maturing emotionally, you're maturing mentally. And this is how it started for me. And this is the first point. You have to want to make a change. You have to want to make a change in your life. And for me, I saw the road that it was leading to. Like, if I keep accepting this type of behavior, if I keep allowing toxicity in my life, if I keep letting people disrespect me, then this is all I'm going to receive. Right, Janice? This is so true. We should always be willing and ready to grow. And I wasn't before that moment where my whole life was going to shift because of something that was happening to me in my life. I had made a decision in that moment that, I think I'm going to need to get some backup, some assistance. So for me, what helped me is going and getting a therapist, because I definitely was a person who had very bad anger issues, and I wanted to get to why. Why did I get so angry so fast? What did that stem from? And also, when I got to the root of why that was, also, I was able to work on some other things inside of myself. It's like the layers of an onion. Once you peel back that initial, you're like, oh, you start uncovering certain things, and that leads to other things. And you didn't know that there were all of these issues that you had under the surface. It's just that one thing was your major issue at that time. But when you peel that back, you're like, ooh, look at this and this and this. So for me, therapy definitely helped me. And I know therapy may not be for everybody. It may not be something that maybe you tried it and you didn't get a good therapist, or you tried it and it just doesn't work for you. But we can't just say, I tried it and it didn't work. We have to keep trying until we find what works. Okay. So that's point number two. Find what works that is stopping you or blocking you from your permission to thrive. What is blocking you? Is it personally you? Is it your attitude? Is it your outlook? Is it your circumstance? Is it traumas? And in that, when you say those things, you are humbling yourself. You're showing you're seeking a change. It's a lot of things that are happening to you in this stage of your life when you say, hey, this is not working, let me get some help. And then after that, then being open and honest. Because for me at first, when I had gone to therapy, I was not honest. When they're like, why are you here? Initially, I just started pointing fingers at everybody, and this person did this and this person did that to me, and that's why I'm the way that I am. I didn't have accountability. And I do believe that that's a very important part of your failure to launch in your life, for you not to have personal growth, is when you're not accountable. And it's not easy to be accountable. Nobody wants to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, you know what? I have a problem. Who does that? Who does that? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to own their own mess, to take the lead role in saying, I need to make changes. I didn't want to do that. But when I went to therapy is when I realized the issues that I had and the changes that I needed to make. And all of us, being human, all of us has things that we need to work on. Every single one of us. But if something is stopping you from making that progress in your life, if the issues and the problems and the traumas are holding you back from success in your life, is holding you back from change, that you can't have joy, that you let people use you, it's more, sometimes more than you can do on your own. Okay. We have to make a decision in that moment. Hold on, guys. I got to take a sip of water. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Back. So we have to make a decision for ourselves that we're willing to make some changes in our life. And this is where we come to this part of the discussion, permission to thrive. Okay. So this is around the stage of after you have already accepted that, hey, I need some help, and you've actually seek the help. The third point is humbling yourself. Humbling yourself. Humility will take you really far in your life. To be able to thrive, you have to be humble, and you have to admit, like, okay, I'm not doing what I need to do. I need to make some changes. Look at yourself and be honest. Okay, what are the things that you're failing to do? For me, mine was I had a big problem with procrastination, putting things off for another day, another day, another day, and every day I would say, I'll do it tomorrow. Every day was tomorrow. And also starting tasks and not finishing it. See, that was the main reason why I went to therapy, is I didn't understand why I couldn't finish assignments. Like, I would have several things going, several projects, and they were all started, but none of them were finished. So I needed to get to the root of why I couldn't finish things. And I found my answer in therapy, and it definitely helped me. So in that therapy, I learned about that permission to thrive. And the permission to thrive is where we say to ourselves, you're a wonderful individual. So of course you have to start with, your self-esteem. How do you think about yourself? And for me, I had always thought, like, I loved myself. I thought so. But if you truly love yourself the way that you should, you will allow yourself to do certain things. I may have loved myself, but in the permission to thrive, I learned that I needed to love myself more than I already had. And that was a new concept to me. You can love yourself, but you also can not love yourself enough. See, if you fully love yourself, if you're in friendship with yourself, it's when you can say, whether this is comfortable for me, whether this is easy for me, or whether this is hard, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to do what I need to do because it's going to benefit me. See, that's where you bring in that accountability, being accountable for yourself. So, whereas before I would start a task and not finish it, now I could finish it because I started to make myself accountable. Like, you said you were going to do this, so let's do it. It's in following through. And for me, I didn't understand that loving yourself more will allow you to thrive because you love yourself to keep your word. You love yourself enough to be honest with yourself. You love yourself enough to, even when something is challenging and hard, you're still going to do it anyways. And that was a new concept for me because I loved myself, but I didn't love myself through my challenges. Anytime something became difficult, I would challenge that. I was like, this is too hard, or this is too much, or here would the excuse come in, or this is going on and that is going on and I don't have the time. See, when you're accountable, you will make time for what is important to you. And that's what it was for me. I didn't want to do it. And I had to learn to speak up for that, like live in my own personal truth. Marlene, you're not doing this because you don't want to or because you're being lazy. Like, you have to learn to be honest with yourself. Show up within yourself honestly. Don't use other things as an excuse: family, problems, money, this, that. Just call it what it is. I am not doing this because I am being lazy. I am not doing this because I don't want to do it. I'm whatever the reason is. Hey, Bondi, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Hey, James Money. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate the support. Um, and that's what it was for me. I had been in this cycle for so long. And when you're in a cycle of not doing anything, when you're in a cycle of just being lazy and saying, "Oh, I don't want to do anything," or just being lazy just because you can, it's hard to break that mold and want to step into trying to do something new. Hey, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Janice. I thought I said hi to you earlier. Maybe I didn't. um, that's what it was for me, being accountable and taking ownership of your life, taking ownership of your actions, and not letting other people, not blaming other people for the things that you're not doing. We have to be an adult, be an adult, be mature, own our own mess. When we're not doing what we need to do, we need to own that, you know. Don't blame anybody else, and in that, when you start taking ownership of your life, you become accountable, and it causes you to want to make changes. Oh, you were speaking to the new ones. Thank you, Janice. When you take ownership for yourself, you can't do anything but grow personally. You can't help but grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, because you're not hiding. You're not covering up things. You're not putting a bandage on an old wound. You're letting yourself take that bandage off, and you're allowing that bandage to heal, because you're getting to the root of things. You're getting to the bottom of it. And that's important if we want to thrive in our life. We have to look at the things that challenge us, okay? And that's a sauce alert. That's a gem alert. That's your fire. You have to speak to yourself, and you have to take ownership of things. You have to be accountable. You have to humble yourself and say, this is my thing. This is what I am doing to myself. And until you take ownership of your life, nothing is going to change. Thank you so much, Nexie. Appreciate it. Let me see. Let me go back to the comments here. I have a $2.99 super sticker, and y'all know what time it is. It's panda time, when the super chat hits. Hold, please. Pause, please. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Nexie. And hey, Tracy, how are you? Welcome. Appreciate you all being here, supporting the channel. So we were just talking about, taking accountability, right? Taking accountability for ourselves, taking accountability for our lives. It's part of being an adult. And unfortunately, some, like, I was definitely, if I'm going to be 100% honest and open for you guys, I didn't want to be honest. I had for so long hidden behind excuses. I hidden behind, name blaming, blaming other people for what I knew that I didn't want to do, taking ownership, being accountable, growing up, maturing, and humbling myself. And in all of those ways, when we grow up, when we mature, in our minds, and we mature spiritually, when we mature financially, when we grow in one aspect of our life, I'm telling you, all of the aspects of your life shift along with you. So we do have to confront it, and to not make an excuse and hide behind it. And then we have to move forward from that. Yes, you got yourself some panda. Appreciate your support. So let's get into what are some of the things that causes us to not to be able to thrive. I know one major thing for me, what caused me to not thrive in my life, is some traumas. Hi, see, what we do is we push those traumatic events back into the closet. We hide it, or some things about our personality that's is uncomfortable. If it's causing you to act on something and to do something that we should, we don't want to. We don't want to. We don't want to be accountable, because that means work on our part. And we don't want to put forth the work and the effort. We just want to just hide behind those excuses, blame another person. But if you want your life to become better, if you want your life to thrive, that's what it's going to take. You're going to have to stand in your own personal truth. And for me, that was the hardest pill to swallow when I was going through therapy. Looking at myself and say, Marlene, you're doing this, 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 and this. And it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough anymore to blame other people. Now you know what you're doing. Now you know um, what you haven't done. Now you know the things that you couldn't control and what other people did, but you also have to take ownership of yourself. Yes, Janice, people. Yes, resentments. And I think that was a major thing for me. I had a lot of resentment from people in my life that had hurt me, failed to support me and didn't do what I believed that I needed. And I just couldn't get over that. Like, you failed me. But at a certain point, you have to not let your inner child ruin your life. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was letting my inner child ruin my life. I was letting my inner child say, this is how your life was going, because I was letting my inner child run me. Like, every time I would have a fear, I would run from it. Anytime something challenged me, I would run from it. Anytime somebody would confront me and say that I was doing something wrong, which I was, I would just be like, oh, that's a personal attack. You're personally attacking me, just so that I could run from what I really needed to accept and receive and move forward. So for me, I didn't want to thrive at that time. It's like saying you want to do something, but you're doing everything to block it. Like, you're doing everything to sabotage your success because you're scared. And this is the next point about that permission to thrive. It's allowing yourself to win. See, that permission to thrive, you may want to win, but until you make a decision that I deserve to. And I never knew that all of these steps were involved in thriving. I just thought if you want to thrive, you just put in the work and then you win. But it, it starts in the mind. You have to convince yourself mentally that I can do things. And if you're not fully convinced of that, if you're not convinced and you don't know your worth, you don't love yourself enough, you don't challenge things and confront it. And also, I had to, let myself win. I had to have a desire to want to win. And just because you say you want to win, and then winning is two different things. You can want to win, but if you're not putting the action behind it, if you're not doing what you need to do, if you're not humbling yourself, if you're not being accountable, if you're doing everything to sabotage that, it's just like being on a diet and you know the way that you need to eat and what you shouldn't eat. And if you go and get those desserts or things that you shouldn't, that's going to sabotage your diet. But what do we do sometimes? We just say, oh, but I want it. And that's it. You sabotage your own success. So I had to learn to start talking to myself as a successful person. And that's the next point that I want to get into. Let me see some of the comments that are coming in. Is that my Zonnie? Zon. Hey, Don. How are you. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening from work. Appreciate your support. How are you doing? Okay. So, I just want to encourage anybody who is in a space in their life where it's hard for you to get to the next step, because it can be very difficult to go from wanting to win to actually winning. In this time, okay, in this time where you first tell yourself, okay, I want to do better, okay, because that's where I started. First, that's a good step, and that's your acceptance. You accept that you need some help, you accept that you want better, okay? It does start there. Then after that, then you have to go through, taking ownership and accountability, humbling yourself. And it does take some time, because we're, as humans, we don't want to say that we're not doing right. We don't want to say, I'm being lazy, I'm procrastinating, I'm not doing right, I'm doing this or that to other people, I'm doing this or that to myself. Okay. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. I love that when others tell me that they needed to hear this message. Good, 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 good. So that's what it was for me. I wanted to succeed, but I was doing everything in order to stop and block that, by my actions. Just like that diet thing. Like we know when we're not supposed to eat certain things, but we have the cravings, and we'll just say, oh, I'll do better tomorrow, at a certain period, like after so many times of doing that. Can you say that you're accountable? No, you're not being accountable. And and also means that you're not loving yourself enough. For me, also, in that permission to thrive, I had to love myself enough to want to get up and do what it takes. I had to love myself to want to get up and get into the action. And this was my biggest hurdle in my progress, to getting to where I needed to go, um, doing it, accomplishing it. Like, you know what you need to do, you know what you need to accomplish, you know what you need to try. And I would stop right there, because I would just say, I don't know how to do that. And I would use that as an excuse, you know what I mean? And that's not good enough. It's not good enough to say you don't know how. So here is the next point on that permission to thrive is, if you don't know how to get to your success, surround yourself by those who are already successful. Finding good mentors, a support system, whoever it is. But in this trial period, because you're peeling back all the layers of yourself, and you're unearthing all of these things that have been dormant inside of us. And this is the time where you're very vulnerable. You're very weak at this time. And this is the time where you're dealing with your inner child. And it's very scary. It's very scary to deal with your inner child. This is the time where you confront your past, and you look at that little girl or little boy inside of you. And I had to tell that little girl inside of me that we're not going to use this as an excuse anymore, that I'm afraid, that I'm fearful, that I doubt my abilities, that I don't love myself enough, because the adult Marlene has made a decision to change all of that. See, confrontation. This is the part where most people run like their feet is on fire, like their body is on fire, because people don't like the confrontation, because it's uncomfortable, because it's painful, because it shines light on ourself, what we're not doing. But and we're vulnerable at this time. You unearth all of these wounds, and you stir up things that you really don't want to. Thriving people are usually positive people to be around. Exactly, Janice. Yeah. And that's exactly what I needed at that time. I needed some positive support from great mentors and people who were doing their own thing. And this is where it was very difficult for me to, speak to that inner child. And you do. Anytime when you're about to make big changes in your life, you have to talk to that little girl or little boy inside of you. Uh, I still have to do it till this day. Um, like if I'm making an excuse about something, I have to go further than just saying, I don't want to, or going further than just saying, I'm tired. Go in, dig in deeper. It's more than being tired. It's more than being challenged. It's more than being scared. It's that the follow through, being accountable. Like, why don't I want to do it? And for me, mine was I was scared to win. Like, the whole thing about it is, what if you actually do win? And I know that may sound crazy, but it's true. What if you do win? What if you do succeed? I was scared of that because, okay, if I followed through, what if I do meet success on the other side? Like, what if I do have the dream life that I have been seeking? What if I actually can do it? And for me, for such a long time, I wanted to do certain things. Like I've had, this notebook full of things to be. Oh, hey, precious pieces. Thank you so much for your support. What I wanted to do for a long time was I talked about me wanting to write this book for over 10 years. And I talked about it. And I have pieces of the book here and pieces of the book here. But finally, after all of this time, I am in my process and I'm writing the book. And this is the time where I'm going to be accountable. I've given myself an end date and I'm going to have my book. I'm already putting it out in the atmosphere that my book will be done and ready for January 1st. So that's scary, it's scary, but it's also exciting. So give yourself an end date. That's the next point of this permission to thrive is give yourself an end date. After you're accountable, you have to give yourself a timeline and that will help you to get busy in it. If you just say, I want to do something, but you don't have an end date and a time, give yourself whatever time period and don't give yourself too long. Give yourself just a short period of time to accomplish one of your goals. And that has been helping me. Like, I have a monthly goal of accomplishing certain things. And I think that that's so important, to give yourself an end date. Okay. Give yourself an end date to your goal. Like, I'm going to accomplish this in this period of time. So do that for yourself. I think it really helps you to be able to thrive faster when you say, I'm going to do this by this date, and don't let that date come and you not do it. That's why that having that positive support system, um, working on your friendship, speaking to your inner child. That's why all of those steps are important because you have to be speaking up for yourself and you have to get strong and you have to be courageous in this time because it's not the time to go backwards. Now is your time. You can see that what you want, you can almost reach out and touch your goal. Hey, everyone in the hospital, just stop by. Support can't stay. Oh, wow, TSM. I hope everything will be okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. So it's very important to, when we're in this phase of letting our creative juices flow, let it flow, make sure that this is the time you're journaling and this is the time to enjoy and celebrate yourself. Okay. This is the time to celebrate you in this time. This is the time where you pat yourself on the back, because you need a lot of encouragement when you're going after your dreams and you're fulfilling your dreams. Let yourself be in the moment. And that was something that it was hard for me, because we always don't feel like it's time for celebration until you actually, whatever it is that you want comes to pass. That's when you feel like you actually won. But no, you're winning in when you're moving forward towards your progress, forward towards your dream. This is when you need to do a lot of encouragement. You're doing good. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Keep going. You have to do that, and continuously supporting yourself and saying, you're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. You have to have a lot of encouragement in your time when you're in the midst of your breakthrough. Your breakthrough is about to bust wide open, and you have to enjoy all of those moments. And I'm telling whoever needs to hear that, enjoy where you are. Um, it's usually we want to celebrate things only when we achieve and only when we get to a certain status or something in our life. We feel like that's the only time when we actually receive, like, where you meant to go, right? At the end of the rainbow, right? It's like, oh, I have it. It's here. It's a living, breathing thing. You're standing in that moment, like all the things that you thought was going to happen has happened. It's come to reality. And I'm telling you that when you're in the process, celebrate the process of where you are. That, I'm following through. That was a big one for me. I'm following through. I'm keeping my word. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm walking and I'm stepping in courage. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I'm being accountable for my own actions, and I'm not making excuses. I'm not procrastinating. And I keep telling myself, you're doing so good. And you must do that to continue until you actually build up the momentum and you achieve where you want to go. See, it's very important. And as human beings, we look to family members, friends, other people to, give us that hand clap, that kudos, that telling you that you're doing good. Don't wait for other people to celebrate you, because unfortunately, some people will never know about, the hidden, the hidden challenges. And that's the next point. You're going to have challenges along the way, getting to when you actually thrive. Hey, Leticia, how are you? Welcome. It's good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Um, there's a lot of things in this life that can cause you to not thrive. It's a lot of things that can stand in the way. And most of the time, I found that I was the one getting in the way, because when you finally develop enough strength, you're not fearful anymore. You're being accountable. You've humbled yourself. You've laid that foundation. You're strong, and you're saying, I'm doing this. See, when you get into the phase where you're just about to get to where you want to go, it's like you have this determination within yourself, like, and it's so strong. It's so strong within you. It's like a bull, or whatever animal that you like. I always picture myself when I'm trying to achieve something. I imagine myself as that animal running towards whatever it is that I want, with full force, full vitality, full energy. And you have to visualize that for yourself. See yourself and picture it like you're that animal and you're running full force towards your goal. And in that determined phase, this is where you're moving forward. This is the time where, obstacles are going to come in your way. You're going to fall down. You're going to make excuses. You're going to take some step backward, but you're determined. No matter what is happening, no matter what is being said, you're continuing on, because you're focused. You have your goal in mind. You're not listening to other people. And this is the phase in the growth of the permission to thrive that I love, because you feel so strong. You're like, you're so fearless. There's nothing that anybody can say to you that is going to stop you when you're in your permission to thrive phase. When you are focused and you know what you want, there's nothing that anybody can say that is going to get you off course, because you have made that determination, you know? Yes, Janice, always watch out for distraction. Yeah, there's always going to be somebody distract you. And for me, I like to say distractions is also ourself. When you just about to get to, what you want, and you're reaching out your hand, you could almost touch what you want to receive. And then you say, I don't think I can do it. And it happens a lot when you're almost there, and then you say, I can't do it. Or you give up, oh, I'm too tired. Or somebody says something and then they get into your head and say, you've been saying you were going to do that. Or, and you take a hit, it messes with you. And you start believing and feeding into the lies of other people. You let the words of other people affect you too much, instead of building up your own strength, your own courage, and walking past your fears with your faith. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to have that belief in yourself. You have to know that you're strong enough. And I tell myself all the time, anytime I'm doubting, Marlene, you can do this. It's just a matter of time. You can do it. Keep going. And you must say those words to yourself when you're in this phase. I can do it. I must do it. Failure is not an option. I'm going to do whatever is necessary in order to achieve. And of course, people are going to say stuff to you. People are going to be nasty. They're going to be mean. They're going to fall out of your life. That's this was a hard phase for me when I finally, before I'm in the phase where I am now, where when you start to improve your life and people start seeing major changes, this is when you unearth all of the jealousy from other people. This is when they're going to start pulling back from you. This is when people are going to be mean to you. They're going to say, you think you're better than me. They're gonna bring up things from the past, or they're gonna try to get you distracted and say, I need you to help me right now. And if you don't help me, then don't bother coming back in my life. Like, I mean, just some of the nastiest things that you will ever hear will come out of their mouth. And it's very hurtful. So this is where you're gonna find out who your true people are, the people who really care about you, the people who really want you to win, because they're going to do everything within their power to get you to give up. Because the thing is, when somebody sees you elevating and you're about to do good, it's a reflection on themselves. They have to look at themselves and say, well, I'm not doing anything with my life, and they're going to be better than me. And they don't like that. They don't want that. It makes them feel bad because of their lack of drive in their life, their lack of motivation, their lack of self-love, their lack of self-awareness. So I want you to I don't want you to step into, the permission to thrive and think that the people that you love are going to love you in this phase. This is where you're going to find out who actually cares about you, who actually rocks with you, and who doesn't. And there's going to be people to fall off, and you got to get ready for that. And you got to be strong in your heart, in your head. You have to be spiritually aware and strong and courageous in this phase, because you have to understand this is your life. Okay, this is your life, and your life is only going to be as joyful, successful, and prosperous as you allow. So this is the time where you're going to have to say, well, you're going to have to go, because you're not going to stop me, because I'm focused on my goal. I'm going after what I want. I'm not allowing challenges to stop me. I'm so happy. I have so much peace. This is your time where you're going to get to the last phase, the winning phase. You know, the winning phase. This is where the door is going to be open, that you're not going to get the no's anymore. The door will be open and people will be saying yes to you, and you'll be winning, and you'll get offers and sponsorships and whatever it is that you're seeking to get. This is where you win. This is your time to celebrate. It's your time where you're going to be like, I can't believe I did this. And it's also the time to congratulate those who supported you through all of it. Because we can't do anything on our own. We have to lean on the support of other people. Yeah, true facts. Yeah, this is definitely when you find out who's legit, Janice, for real. You really find out who is really there for you, who really cares about you, and who really loves you. Yeah, and that's real. It's real. So, during um, your phase of the permission to thrive, from the beginning all the way to where you win, never forget to speak those affirmations and to speak positively over your life, even though you haven't achieved it yet. You have to get your mind prepared to win. And I believe that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to talk about something about winning. I'm not sure yet, but I think it's important to talk about winning. I appreciate you, Tracy, and thank you for your membership and your support. Yes, Tracy, all the members drop exclamation point member to have your link dropped. I very much appreciate everybody. And I want to tell anybody right now, if you feel like you want to make a major shift or change in your life, you can do it. And you must give yourself the permission to thrive. You have to see, if you aren't convinced fully, you're going to get off track, you're going to stop, you're going to slow down. And that's not an option. See, I'm speaking to all of you motivators. This is why this channel is Marlene Motivates. I want to motivate you all to look at yourself and want to constantly seek to improve, to be accountable, to challenge yourself, to live the life of your dreams. Live your dreams out loud. Stand in what you want. Don't just say, I wish I could have this, or I wish I could do that. No, seek it. Do what it takes and go after it. Be accountable. Don't be fearful. Love yourself and stick to it until you win. But we have to make that determination to thrive. Give yourself the permission. I forgive myself for when I didn't love myself. I forgive myself to where I didn't challenge myself. I forgive myself when I didn't humble myself. I forgive myself when I didn't think I could do things. But now that you have stepped in it and you have accepted that I want to win, give yourself the permission and tell yourself that. I give you the permission to thrive. I give you the permission to win. Now let's do what it takes in order to win. You can do it, but you have to be fully convinced yourself. Nobody can do that part for you. I can give you the knowledge. I can give you the information. I can tell you to love yourself. I can give you all of the tools. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to say, this is my plan. I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to not give up when I fall down. I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to repeat and repeat and repeat until you win. So thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you all's support. And as always, I would love for you to join my channel membership tomorrow, members. Tomorrow, Thursday. I don't know the time. I'm going to put it on the community tab. Take a look and tell me what time that you would like for the members only live. And I'm also going to put up two or three topics, and you choose the one that you want to talk about, and then we'll do that, members only, and discuss it. I'm not sure, between 30 minutes to an hour. We'll see. We'll see who shows up, and then we'll move accordingly. So you all, like I always say, every single video, live stream, you know, to believe in yourself, to love yourself, because nobody is going to make you win until you make that decision for yourself. Give yourself the permission to thrive. You deserve it. You deserve to win. You deserve to love yourself. You deserve to have your life in the present of your dreams. Achieve your goals. Be accountable. Love yourself. And don't stop until you win. Give yourself that permission to thrive. I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and you've just tuned in to your dose of positivity. If you're watching now on the replay, my replay gang, thank you so much for your support, supporting this channel. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Are you giving yourself the permission to thrive? Leave that below. And to everybody who is watching me live today, thank you so much for your support. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, Hayward, watch the replay. And also check out the community tab, members. I'm going to go over there when this is over, and we're going to talk about what will be the members only topic for tomorrow. Very exciting, right? So thank you all so much for your support. And like I said, every single video, live stream, story time, just know it. Just breathe it and be it and live your best life. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and tomorrow.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you?